What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the ClearCryptos channel. I'm joined by Austin. My name is Zach. We're going to talk about how to have patience in crypto. And you need a lot of patience right now during the bear market because there are a lot of people running for the hills and saying, I am out. Nope, I'm done, right? I've lost too much money. I'm done. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I think, the number one thing, Austin, I think we talk about this all the time in our own personal videos. And really, we have these conversations amongst ourselves too, is when in doubt, zoom out. It's a cliche. If you're new to crypto, you're going to hear it a lot, but it's so true, right? Is have that macro viewpoint. Like, why did you start in the first place? Did you start to get rich quick? If you did, then you're probably in it for the wrong reason. But if you got into crypto because or have conviction that blockchain technology and crypto is going to be a lot bigger than it is today once we get to 2030 and 2035 and 2040. If you have that viewpoint, then you could be patient. You don't have to look at things on a daily time frame, on a weekly time frame, even on a monthly time frame. Right? We're still super, super early into crypto. I mean, this is the infancy stages of the crypto market. Sure, we had a big boom the last year and a half, 2 years. We've dialed back some. I think that's just the beginning, though, of this crypto adoption curve that, right now, I mean, we're just getting started on that trajectory upwards. So, again, remember why you started. I mean, this thing is a long-term hold. It's a long-term asset for me when I think of Bitcoin in particular and some of the other blue chips.
Right.
I'm here. I'm here for the long term. And I just reiterating that message over and over and over definitely helps me have patience, right? How about for you, though? I mean, what are some of the things that you do to keep your emotions out of it, right? Because that's the other big thing. Your emotions start getting involved, and then you make irrational decisions, right?
Yeah. Well, you jumped on me. I was going to say emotions because you hadn't said it yet. I'm like, oh,
I know.
He hadn't said emotions yet. All right. I'm done. I'm going to leave. No. I think patience equals not making a bad decision, in my opinion. Said a different way, and you and I made a ton of videos about this on our respective channels. Said a different way, don't let your emotions come into play and override your patience. And that leads to what most likely will be a bad decision. Usually people buy and sell in the exact wrong time. So I think there's patience on both sides of this.
Yeah.
There's patience on the buying side. Most people tend to buy when we're in massive green candles and everything's running hard. They're like, oh my God, I got to get in. Yep. Not having patience. People tend to sell on the red days when things are going down because their emotion has taken over. They don't have patience and they feel like the proverbial boat is on fire and about to sink.
100%. I mean,
I'm going to give it back to you. This goes back to one thing you said before we started this video. You said, have a plan. And I want you to put some meat around that, Zach, about having a plan, wrapping it with the emotion, but having a plan. And to me, there's two plans. Maybe there is a long-term hold plan, right? Which you had talked about a minute ago, but there's also, I know you do this and I do this. There are sometimes I will buy a coin or a token. I have a short-term plan. Maybe it's a short-term, I want to make 30%. So I want you to talk about plan and then we'll wrap up from there.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's always a combination, but I keep a notebook of different assets that I have, and I write in there what I want to do. So like recently with Polygon, it had a lot of major catalysts coming. I said, well, this is a bear market. This is a good time to swing trade here. I jumped into Polygon because I knew the Disney partnership was happening. I knew just from a TA perspective, things that I were reading were really bullish. We've got the merge happening with Ethereum. There are all these things, right? These catalysts, even in a bear market, lining up. And I'm like, okay, this is a good opportunity to make a little swing trade. I made a little bit of money. Then what do? I take that and put it back into a blue chip like Ethereum or Bitcoin, and I'm able to acquire more. So that's an example of that. But with Bitcoin and Ethereum, I don't really have a price point in mind. I just want to buy and hold it. Right. So one thing I learned about Bitcoin from a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, and I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but listen, I think you can learn from everybody and anybody. And one thing I learned from them when I went to Bitcoin Miami this past April was they just buy.
Yeah.
They just buy. And they've been doing that for 8 to 10 years. They don't try to time the market. To them, it's about time in the market. It's about just time in the market. Over time, it's going to pan out. It's going to do you well. Similar to how people invest in the S&P 500. That's how Bitcoin maximalists think about Bitcoin. So that's how I think about Bitcoin too. Yeah. And I think about Ethereum in the same way. So many people, and it's fine. I mean, there's more ways to win at this than just one. So many people want to know if Ethereum's going to dial back to 700 and if it's going to go from 1700 to 1800 tomorrow. To me, it just doesn't do it for me, because I don't care. I mean, I'm going to buy it, accumulate it, and when Ethereum's $20,000, I'm going to look like a genius. And really, all I did was buy it.
I bought it. Yeah. Well, I think, and I think we'll wrap up there. But I think what you just said, you can land that plane back at the I'm trying to give a good metaphor, at the patient's hangar, right? I'm trying to paint a picture, but that's really ultimately what you just said. Always comes back to patience. But what it means, right, Zach, is that in that scenario, you buy Bitcoin every day, you buy Ethereum every day. I love that. And that word, that phrase, it's about time in the market. It's not about timing the market. You and I have both at different times. I remember I tried to time buying Ethereum way back when, and I missed it by $100 as it came down and it bounced back up. And I'm like, I was trying to time it perfectly. And so I think it's more about time in, because those, ironically, by DCAing in, right? I know you DCA in, you dollar cost average, you buy Bitcoin, Ethereum every day, just like I do, just a little bit. We're not buying a ton because it's about time in the market. That equals patience, because I'm just buying and I'm holding, and it equals patience. And I'll end on your note, right? When it gets to 20,000, you look like a genius, because everybody's like, oh my God, Zach's a genius. Well, I know you better than that. You're not a genius.
I'm trying to make this as simple as possible.
Exactly.
And that's it, man. And I think, you know what, you made me think of something. I want to just mention this real quick. If you're a long-term investor, you need patience. Right? This is something like I just kind of thought of as you were talking there. When you're a trader, it's hard to have patience, because you always have to be on edge, and you're trying to time it up and look at the RSI and look at the support levels, and that's fine. I mean, you can make money that way. That's fine. But if you have the long-term vision, dollar cost averaging, in my opinion, is the way to go. Absolutely. And it forces you to have patience, because you're playing the long game.
Yeah. Yeah. And it takes the emotion out of if you have a plan, and if you again, everything we already talked about, it takes a lot of that out of the equation. All right. Well, I'll wrap up there. So thanks for your input on this, Zach. I appreciate you, brother. And so final thoughts, hit that subscribe button below. Definitely subscribe to this channel. More content from Zach and I, as well as other content creators, live streams every day, a lot of stuff coming, big interviews coming, a lot of stuff coming from the Clear team. Final thought is in the description below. You'll have a link to their website, to their socials, very active Twitter page, and growing. But the real thing we want to stress to you is get involved in their Discord, because the Discord is an amazing, positive, active community, fantastic moderators, people involved, all with one goal, is to help you navigate crypto better and ultimately help you to be more successful in crypto. So thanks, Zach. Appreciate you. And we'll see you later.
Thanks, brother.